This couple is so cheap they share a toothbrush, floss, and 1 stick of deodorant. Now, they want to share a coffin. Kris and Rick appeared on TLC's Extreme Cheapskates, a show about people so obsessed with saving money they turn basic human dignity into a suggestion. They plan their entire lives around spending as little as possible, and now they've decided to take that mindset all the way to the grave. Their idea? When one of them dies first, the funeral home digs them up later and puts the second spouse into the same coffin.
When we do our showers together, it's strictly 2 minutes. There's no hanky-panky at all. We actually share the razor. First, she'll shave under her armpits, and I'll actually shave my face. After a while, this will get dull. We actually sharpen it. It'll last several months instead of just, a couple of weeks.
We probably save like $200 at least in razors because 1 packet of razors is like $25 sometimes.
A common theme with these people is always the delusion of what they think things cost and what they're actually saving. They just say some random shit like, yeah, I save about $150,000 a year on toilet paper by simply not wiping my ass. Like, in what universe does anyone spend $200 per year on razors? I just Googled a pack of razors, and the cheap Bics, which they are definitely using, if not something even cheaper, is under $4 for a pack of 10. They just don't seem to have any real concept of money or value.
Just use that side on each ear. For cotton swabs, Kris will use one end, and then when she's done, I'll use the other.
With the deodorant, we actually share that too, and we're only allowed 1 wipe per armpit, and so when we do that, it can serve as deodorant. We share our toothbrush, so we don't have to buy another toothbrush.
We're so cheap that we share our tooth floss.
There you go.
That's pretty gross. I'm no human dentist, but I have a feeling that sharing used floss may be unhygienic. It also astounds me that people like this are even able to find each other. Like, I'm curious to know who in the relationship was the first to mention, you know what, we could save up to $4,000 a year if we just shared a toothbrush.
I like to keep track of our flushing because that attributes to our actual cost of our water bill each month.
Well, every time we flush a toilet, we have to put a tally mark. Whoever flushes the toilet more owes extra on the electric and the water bill.
I almost had a heart attack when I got to the toilet flushing cost section of this episode because I was sure they were about to say they limit their flushing to once a week or something, but thankfully I assumed wrong. They do flush, they just keep track of who's flushing more.
A true cheapskate plans for every eventuality, including death. We decided to arrange our funeral now because that way we'll avoid all of the inflation. Statistically, men die before women, and I don't want Rick to die and me be stuck with a huge funeral bill. I can get it now at half the cost.
Yeah, never mind your husband dying as long as he pays for his share of the funeral service. Wouldn't this come out of a shared account? Aren't these humans married? Sometimes I don't understand where these people get their logic from. Like, I understand wanting to prepay for a funeral service, as that is something that will save you in the long run, but wanting to pay now because you think your husband is going to die first and leave you with the bill is diabolical. Does he not have a will? You would inherit every penny he leaves behind. Unless, of course, he's buried with it, which I would not put past them.
If you want to be cheap, these are our cheapest caskets.
So on these coffins, I was noticing like there's pillows and, what's this? I don't even know what that's called. How much would that reduce the price if we take out the lining and the pillow and, anything extra?
I would have to call the manufacturer, but gosh, y'all have got 50+ years, but hopefully before you'll need this, that y'all have that long life together, that you can make that decision then if you still want to be cheap.
Yes, I want to be cheap. Rick and I had this idea. We want to just have 1 burial, 1 funeral, 1 everything. If he dies first, because he's older and he's a guy, then we can bury him and then just exhume him when I die and then bury me with him. And that way it's just 1 casket, 1 everything. It just makes more sense. Can we do that?
It's a very weird request to exhume a loved one and then place the new dead person in with that casket.
Do you have any big enough to fit 2 of us?
Or you just have to be on top of each other.
Okay, that'd probably work.
Now, I looked into this. The cost to exhume a grave, if your state and cemetery would even allow it, which almost certainly they would not, is about $3,000 to $10,000, which by the sounds of their thrifty finagling is far more than the cost of their joint funeral. It's far easier, less disgusting, and probably cheaper to just bury a new casket on top of the first one. That's the thing about these people. They don't seem to have a real sense when it comes to these things. They just think less is more. 1 casket is cheaper than 2. Yeah, in theory it is. But they elected to skip the embalming too, which means whoever was hired to dig up that grave and place her in the coffin would be opening it to a big stinky puddle of human goo. Just buy a second casket, lady. They managed to turn one of the most expensive moments of your life into a 2-for-1 deal. What a fascinating look into the mind of an extreme cheapskate. Like I said before, transmissions from the TLC network have only just made their way up to me, so I may or may not be into it. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and good luck on the human internet.